Let me tell you a story. It comes from the PCC away day. Reviewing our value warmth, we were asked to share stories of that value in action. Well, last winter, a really big man, tall, broad and all, he came into the church one Sunday after the service, dragging his belongings in a large plastic bag. His clothes were unkempt and his look challenging, shall we say. He walked round the church and plonked himself down in the Peace Chapel. Well, it's actually one of the few places in church with comfy seats, a carpet and a working fan radiator. He stayed through to the end of evensong. We were all a bit worried about him, if I'm honest. We locked the toilets, we agreed to keep a quiet eye, but he was no trouble. Not looking like he wanted to talk. A few days later, he returned. He sat in the same place. The verger, the welcome team and I, we had a chat about what to do. Well, nothing. Let's watch him. And if he's inappropriate in some way, well, we'll ask him to leave or ask the police to remove him. He kept coming, sitting here in the Peace Chapel on the comfy chairs by the fan radiator. Welcomers greeted him and some began to chat with him. He was from Ireland, he was homeless, he was seeking warmth and shelter. He was happy to chat and he was called David. Yes, we asked him to move from the Peace Chapel during church services when children and families find that this space is there for them. And he was gracious about that. We shared the church's warmth. Not much in terms of the heating system, I know, but turned out lots in terms of our welcome. Several weeks went by and one day he disappeared. Well, he didn't turn up, and the next day and the next, and we thought, oh well, David's gone elsewhere. But then a few weeks passed and David popped back in again. He was clean, tidy, no bag of possessions, but a big smile to thank us. He'd finally been given a home, he'd managed to tidy himself up. He was grateful for the welcome and warmth he'd received from us. He's moved away from central Coventry as well, so we wouldn't be seeing him again. But we'd let him stay in the church over winter. In our value terms, offered warmth. Warmth from fan radiators, and warmth from our Christian compassion. I'm not saying we're perfect or offer warmth all the time, but, as a PCC, we were delighted to hear that some of the time our city centre life touches warmly the life of another. If you've enjoyed this story, please like, share and subscribe.